The following is a presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports. Live from Quaker Steak and Lube on US 1 in Edison, this is the Chris Ash Show. Your chance to talk with the head coach of the Scarlet Knights on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. Tonight's show is brought to you by To be a part of the show, give us a call at 1-877-384-1869. That's 877-384-1869. Now, let's go live to Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison to talk Rutgers football.
And welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Chris Ash Show, live in Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison. Another terrific crowd on hand as Rutgers gets set to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions this coming Saturday, but they will do so coming off their third win in 4 games as they came from behind and knocked off Maryland 31-24 this past week. Chris Carlin alongside Eric LeGrand. E, how we doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing very well. And, of course, the head coach of the Scarlet Knights is Chris Ash. And, boy, that had to be a pretty nice one to get the other day. Your team showing a lot of resilience. Fell behind, but able to find their way back and make the plays when they needed to win that game.
Yeah, it was a great win. Very happy for our players. It was a team win, one we needed. Guys put a lot into it, and to be able to come back the way we did. And that game had a lot of highs and lows in it. We were up, we were down. There were some questionable calls, but in the end, I had to throw that out there. Hopefully the Big Ten's not listening, but just really happy that our players got a chance to celebrate another Saturday victory.
And Coach, what is post game like for you? We always see the team dancing in the locker room and stuff like that. But once all that is over, what's post game like for Coach Ash?
Well, I go into the locker room and celebrate a little bit. Go do media after that, my favorite part of the day. And then it's more of a relief. It's go sit in the locker room and sit down and think, whew, we got one. Yeah. And just think about the game and then go spend time with my family.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the bigger points of the game. And later on in the show, we will be joined by the quarterback, Giovanni Ruscino, is scheduled to come by tonight, so we're looking forward to chatting with him a little bit later on. And, he connected with Gus Edwards on that game-winning touchdown, the 23-yard pass out in the flat. First of all, Coach, just when you see resilience like that from your football team, it was, as you said, a seesaw game, different elements working against them, as you hinted at. Just from that standpoint, that's got to be awfully rewarding for you.
Yeah, it was great. I'll be honest with you, as we went through that game and we were up, never felt comfortable. And when we were down, I never was really worried that we couldn't come back. Just the sideline was great. Halftime locker room was great. Every time the players took the field, they took it with a lot of confidence. Just the coaching and interaction between the players to players to coaches was very positive. And just really felt good about our chances to take care of business. And, we had some tight moments there at the end. But, again, we made the plays that we needed to, just like the Purdue game, and got the W.
Watching from the view that we see in the second half, the offensive line plays, especially the second half, I should say, was dominant. And as we're up there watching, like you said, when you watch the film, you always think it might be good, but it's never as good as you think or maybe as worse as you think. When you got to break down the game, what did it look like for you guys? Because, like I said, from us up top, it looked like just a dominant performance.
Well, it was, and you're right. Sometimes the game, you look at the stats or you look at the victory, and sometimes when you watch the film, it wasn't as good as you thought. It was on Saturday, and sometimes it's never as bad as you might have thought either. But this was a case where our offensive line controlled the game from the start to the finish. The opening drive, we were able to drive it down. We missed a field goal, didn't extend, a drive on a third down. But I really felt that we were controlling the line of scrimmage right from the start. And, the videotape confirmed that. I thought our O-line played outstanding. I thought our tight ends did an unbelievable job in the run game and in the pass game. Wide receivers blocked well. So I just thought overall offensively, and then obviously our running backs played exceptionally well. But it starts up front. The thing I look at that football game that excites me the most is we played Maryland at the end of the season last year. We played them near the end of the season this year. In 1 year, the physical development of our players really stood out to me when we were out on that field with them, and then just looking in the trenches at the line of scrimmage on both sides. I felt like we were able to control the line of scrimmage. We could not do that a year ago, and I just felt really good about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and the difference a year makes with our players to be able to do that.
We've got a lot of different ways for you to be a part of the show tonight, and we would encourage you to do that. If you're here in attendance at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison, by all means come up. See our man Bradley right over here. We'll get you to the microphone and get you on the air. We also can take your calls at 877-384-1869, 877-384-1869, or tweet your questions at Rutgers Radio. Also on Facebook Live, we'll take some questions from there as well. You mentioned Gus Edwards. Your team rushed for over 200 yards because of that physical offensive line. First of all, Gus to break through with his first 100-yard game of the season. Boy, he just ran with a lot of decisiveness and authority, it seemed like. You seemed like every time you looked up, those legs kept churning forward.
Yeah, he had a great game, and he is a big, physical, strong back, and he's got great speed, and I thought he played his best game of the season, and Rob Martin did too. I know Rob Martin did not get 100 yards, but he was close. I think he had like 79 or 80 yards. And with the 1-2 punch of those two guys, and then you put Raheem in there with some quickness. I really like the trio. And then Josh Hicks also is getting reps. I just feel really, really good about that group right now. And people are always asking, why can't you throw the ball more? Why do we need to? We got 4 really good running backs right now that can run the football. But we've got to do a little bit better with the pass game and get some more balance. But anytime you can run like that, man, keep going.
And the one move on the catch for the touchdown that Edwards put on the defensive back, that was pretty darn impressive when he caught the football.
Yeah, it was. It's something that he and I have been working on. I've been trying to teach him that. I'm glad my hard work paid off.
Now I wanted to ask you about, Coach, the decision to go back to kicking a 50-yard field goal. You go out there. You have a 53-yard field goal, so you have confidence in your kicker. But then, unfortunately, you went a little bit to the right. But then you line up again and go out there. Was it something during the week that you saw that he was booting it really well, or what made you make that decision to go back out there again for a 50-yarder?
Well, it's nothing I saw during the week. It's something that I've seen all year. I've seen his confidence grow. I've seen his ability to hit those kicks in practice more consistently as we've gone through the season. In pregame, he was really stroking them. There was just a slight breeze behind us. We were in that area of punting versus going for it or kicking the field goal. It was too far to go for it. We were too close to punt it. And I said, you know what, this kid's been stroking it in practice. Let's try it. That was on the first one, the 53-yarder. He just didn't hit it quite right, and I knew if he could hit it right, he was going to make it without a problem. So when it came to the next one, we didn't even flinch. Go kick it, hit it a little bit better, get it through, and he did. And obviously it was a much-needed 3 points.
Defensive side, down the stretch of that game, holding them off, making plays that you need to. What stood out?
Again, just like you talk about with the football team, just the resiliency and the grit and the togetherness, and just the confidence and belief that at some point someone's going to make the play that makes a difference. Starts up front with our D-line. I think we did a great job of applying pressure on the quarterback. We got 4 sacks in the game. I don't think we had like 7 going into the
whole
game,
season, yeah.
And we got 4 in that game and pressured him several other times. So it started up there, and we were playing pretty tight coverage in the secondary. Really overall in the night, I felt really good about how we played it. There were 2 big plays that were given up in the game. We gave up a 53-yard run in the second half, and that was really our mistake, not anything Maryland did. We didn't execute a stunt up front, and it opened up a gap and got out the gate. And then the big pass play that they hit to get their first touchdown, Juwan was just out of position, didn't play it very well, and missed a tackle, and it went down the sideline. Outside of those 2 plays, I felt really good about how we played defensively in all 3 levels.
And how about the tackling of the defense when you have a guy like DJ Moore and Ty Johnson out there, keeping them pretty contained, Coach? Can you talk about how the tackling of the defense is swarming and getting those guys on the ground? It's not easy to get them, especially in open space.
Yeah, I really thought our players took the field with a lot of confidence the other night. Maryland did have some outstanding skill players. You talked about them already. We were very concerned about them. We knew that pursuit was going to be very important. We knew that tackling was going to be very important, as it is in every game. But, we felt like we'd probably miss a tackle or two against those guys out in space, and pursuit was going to have to really take over. But I thought we tackled exceptionally well. I thought our pursuit was really good. I can't say enough about the way the guys continue to work and continue to improve. And, again, we're not playing as good as we want to or can, but we're getting a lot closer to it.
All right, let's take our first phone call of the night. Once again, our number is 877-384-1869. Let's head down to Florida, check in with Sandy in Venice. How are you, Sandy? Welcome to the Chris Ash Show.
Oh, I'm doing great. Coach Ash, congratulations on the win against Maryland.
I appreciate that, Sandy. How are you in Florida?
I'm good. I was watching the game. Here's my question for you. Mike Gesicki, he's a very skilled tight end at Penn State, as you well know. He goes up for balls like he's going up for rebounds. How do we cover him?
We try to put about 3 guys on him. Maybe that'll work.
All right, Coach, well, listen. Congratulations again. It was great for the team, the fans, and the university.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad you're watching from down there in Venice, and keep it up.
Will do. Bye now.
Take care.
Take care.
Coach, when you're able to get the tangible evidence of the improvement, like a win the other day, 3 out of 4 now in conference play, the positive vibes that you feel, do you guys feel that out on the recruiting trail? Do you feel it everywhere around that, people are really getting the sense that, hey, the improvement is there and here's the proof of it?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I go to work. I'm in a bunker in the Hale Center. I go home. I come here. This is really my breakaway. That's it. I don't know what's going on outside of that. I know in our locker room, we talked about it tonight, the confidence level is up, the energy's up, the focus is up. I really like the way our players come out to practice right now. We talked about some extra time that the players have put in. We've had more players put in extra time this week than we have at any point throughout the whole season. So winning is a motivator. It really is. And when you put in a lot of hard work and you don't get the success that you want, it can be demotivating and all that stuff starts to slide. But when you win, it helps you build up and kind of snowball, and that's kind of where we're at. But anything outside of our Hale Center with our players, I have no idea what's going on.
Well, if we're talking about fields, that third quarter, that offsides, Coach, the false start, it was ridiculous. And you hear the boos of the crowd. And everyone's talking about
Did you see that play?
Oh, of course. Come on now, Coach. My headset fell off.
I thought I was the only one
My
who saw
headset
it.
fell off in the booth. And
That is true. He was so annoyed.
It actually looked like I threw it. It was kind of hilarious. But go back to what I was saying. Coach, it pumped up the players and everything. And I know you said you have your headsets on, but how much did that motivate?
I did not have my headsets on after
well,
that play.
me either. But how much did that motivate you, just hearing the crowd for the rest of that quarter pretty much just laying into the refs?
Well, between the times when I wasn't laying into them, it was good. I mentioned this the other day. I really appreciate the fans that were at that game, the student section and the fans. It wasn't a sold-out stadium, but I can tell you this, when we needed them, they were there, they were loud, and they made a difference in that game. If we can continue to build on that as a program and as a fan base and as a community, we can build something special here, because if we're getting that type of passionate fan in that stadium and it's sold out, it's going to be a really special place. And that's what I want. It's been that way before. We're going to get it back that way again, and this is going to be a tremendous home field advantage, and our players are going to thrive off of it. And I thought the energy that was created out of that negative situation was outstanding. We didn't talk about it with the players, but I felt a different level from the players after that, and I knew we were going to take care of business.
And to that point, I think Glenn Mason on the BTN broadcast talked about how impressive the fan base was in the stadium that was there, and the impact that they could have on the game. And boy, we've seen it there before, but to see it again the other day, that was pretty darn good.
It was just to hear that, just the passion, like you said, the passion from the fans, and being able to be that 12th man and lift up your team. That's what you need. That's the Home field advantage right there, Coach.
No, that's it. And like I've said it several times. I mean, I've been here as a visiting coach twice, and it was a sellout, crazy crowd. And when it's like that, man, it makes a difference for your players, and it makes a difference in recruiting. It just makes I mean, we're in a great state, a great area. Why not come out and help support and build an outstanding Big Ten program? And, the fans that were there, they'll come back, and hopefully we can bring some others.
We will take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll hit some of the phone calls that we've got lined up. We'll also take questions on Twitter and also on Facebook as well. Stay with us. We're just getting going. This is the Chris Ash Show, live from Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison, New Jersey, on Route 1. Rutgers getting set for Penn State on Saturday. We'll talk about that matchup in just a bit. Stay with us.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube. Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison. 732-777-WING.
When you're looking for tickets to that sold-out event, there's only one place to go. TickCity.com, the official secondary ticket partner of Rutgers Athletics. Scarlet Knight fans can save 10% on all orders when you use the discount code Rutgers at checkout. From sporting events to the hottest concerts, Broadway and family shows across the country, all your ticket needs are covered at your fan-friendly ticket source. TickCity.com. That's TickCity.com.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
When Samantha was in dire need of a new heart, she turned to RWJ Barnabas Health, who performs more adult heart transplants than any healthcare system on the East Coast.
I'm still here.
Jean cherishes every moment spent with her great-grandkids, thanks to our kidney transplant program that ranks among the nation's top 10.
Still here.
Robert promised his granddaughter he'd make it to her next birthday. Thanks to New Jersey's only lung transplant center, he did.
I'm not going anywhere.
From corneal and pancreatic transplants to heart, kidney, and lung, our patients aren't who they used to be. They're better. Learn more about our transplant centers at Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, St. Barnabas Medical Center, and Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. Visit rwjbh.org/transplant. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
With trips to the right, hands it off, no, fakes it, keeps it himself, runs left to the 5, yes! And he's in for the touchdown. Faked out everybody, including the announcer. That was Giovanni Ruscino's first rushing touchdown of the season the other day in Rutgers' 31-24 win over Maryland at High Point Solution Stadium. We're back on this week's edition of the Chris Ash Show. We're live at Quaker Steak and Lube here in Edison, New Jersey, on WCTC in New Brunswick, and of course on RVision on ScarletKnights.com, Facebook Live as well. Let us get to some of our phone calls for the coach. And up first, let us go to Peyton. He is at Berkeley Heights. Peyton, you're on the Chris Ash Show.
Hey, Chris. How are you doing?
Good.
Couple quick questions. One, is Janarian and Raheem going to be ready to go this weekend?
Yeah, they should be. Raheem played last week and is healthy and did an outstanding job. Had a huge kickoff return, and right now we're planning on Janarian being ready his day to day. But I think he's getting better every day.
That's incredible. And one next question. I know you can't talk much about recruiting, but you're doing a great job on the recruiting trail lately, bringing in that huge quarterback. I just wanted to say that the fans are really getting behind you, and you're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Appreciate the phone call, Peyton. Thanks for checking in. Next, let's go to Jim in North Brunswick. You couldn't make it here tonight, Jim. Jim, are you there?
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Good. Good. How you doing?
Hello, Coach. How are you?
Well, I was doing great. I thought we were going to cancel the show tonight.
Well, I'm down in the Outer Banks with friends and family, but I'm still here.
Well, I guess there are a few things that are more important than the radio show on a Wednesday night. I'll let that excuse go.
Anyway, Coach, congratulations on a really big win. And, you know, you're going into kind of an underdog situation this week. How is the esprit de corps and the demeanor of your team going into this game? And how do you motivate your team to go into this environment and win?
Well, it starts, you know, when you mention we're an underdog this week, we're an underdog every week, you know, and we embrace that. We're happy with that, and, you know, it'll be that way until we can consistently win and, you know, change the perception of what we're doing. So that's not a problem. It's not something we think about or worry about. It is what it is, and, you know, how to motivate these players to go into, you know, this weekend, you know, that's not real hard. You know, our guys right now are up for the challenge to go out and play as good as they possibly can play. And it doesn't matter who we play, where we play them. They're just motivated to get better. And they're doing it to be the best that they can be as individuals, as units, and as a football team. And they're doing it for each other. So that's the motivation. Other than that, that's it.
Coach, good luck this weekend. Everyone's behind you. And
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Jim, enjoy the Outer Banks. Hopefully we'll see you here next week. A couple of Twitter questions for you, Coach. First one, this is coming from our guy Zealot. Coach Sebastian Joseph was awesome. Can you comment on his development?
Yeah, Sebastian's having a great year. I just love the kid. He comes to work every single day. You know, most of the times he's bringing his girlfriend around. He's got a smile on his face when he does. So I love that. But he works really hard at practice. He really has a lot of pride in his preparation and takes a lot of pride in his performance right now. He's a leader of our football team, and he's just going out and laying it on the line every single Saturday. And he right now is a real force in the middle of our defense. I get asked a lot about our defensive improvement, and a lot of it has to do with the improvement of the players. And he's one of them right at the forefront that has helped us change what we're doing defensively.
Yeah, can you talk more about actually that defensive line and how they were able to pressure the quarterback? As you mentioned, you had 7 sacks coming into the game, but had 4. But that defensive line was getting pressure, Coach.
Yeah, they were relentless up front, and you know, it's no secret we don't necessarily have other than Kamoko a dominant pass rusher. We've got to do it with effort and technique and just being relentless, and that's what they were. I mean, they were really motivated to get after this guy. And they did it, and we've got to build on that. We've got to get more sacks. We've got to get more negative yardage plays like that. And our D-line knows it, and they're working relentlessly at it every single day. And it was good to, again, just like the victory, good to see them reap some of the rewards of that hard work.
Once again, your coverage units were outstanding. Question on Twitter is about the personnel on kickoff coverage. Is it different this year?
Than last year?
Yes, I think than last year, and also has it changed at all during the course of the year?
We've been pretty consistent throughout the course of the year. You got one of our elite members sitting over there that might be able to talk, but it's an elite group right now, and it takes a real special dude to be on our kickoff coverage team, and we take a lot of pride in that right now. But we've been fairly consistent this year. Maybe it's a new member here or there because of an injury, but when you look at it right now compared to last year, of the 11 guys on our kickoff coverage unit this year, I think there's probably 9 or 10 guys that are different. DeCoven Bailey is one consistent guy from last year. And Larry Stevens got hurt last year, but before he was on it, that's really about it. You know, they're all new. And our punt team, you look at our punt team, I actually was looking at the Maryland game from last year in our punt team and looking at it from this year. I think when I watched it from last year, 10 new players or different players were on our punt team also from last year to this year. So both of those units, it is completely different. We have a different level of pride and commitment to our special teams. And I think it's really special right now. And I've said this a couple times. When I go in on Sunday to watch the film from Saturday, the very first thing I'm looking at is our kickoff coverage team. And if you want to watch our football team at all, watch our kickoff coverage team last Saturday. They killed it. And it was the most impressive unit and phase of our football team, hands down, last Saturday. That was a very good kickoff return team. We went against a very dominant returner, and that was a phase that we just dominated in.
And I was going to say, Coach, we've been talking about this kickoff team, man. You could just see the energy and the passion that are in these guys. And look, a lot of dudes were getting laid out there. I was getting all hyped up in the box and everything. But do you say anything specific to them before they go out there each and every kickoff, or do you just leave it up to them now and just they know what they have to get done?
We have a few words. I can't tell you what they are, but we have a few words. But that's between us and them. And again, it's about the players, man. These guys have taken ownership in that unit. They rise to the challenge. We've faced some really good returners this year. But again, we just keep getting better. But I'm telling you, if you watch those 5 or 6 kickoffs from last Saturday, they were impressive. And like you said, the effort was outstanding, but the physicality at the point of attack was really impressive. And we just got to keep building on it. We got another outstanding kick returner we're facing, obviously, this year or this week, too, one of the best in the country.
Let's get back to the phones right now. Let us check in with William in Burlington Township. William, you're on the Chris Ash Show. How are you?
I'm great. How's it going, fellas? What's up, Big E? What's up, Big Chris?
Big Murph.
All is good, man. Congratulations on that nice win. I enjoyed it.
I'm sure you did, man. I'm glad that you guys could come up and get a chance to celebrate a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. You guys killing us. You're always making it closer than it have to be.
Just trying to keep you on the edge of your seat, man.
No, you keep me thirsty, man. Y'all got to do something about them $4 bottles of water. My goodness.
It is New Jersey. They might go up to 6 next year.
Man. Anyway, hey, I know it's a long season, and these guys are getting banged up. What are your training staff doing extra to keep these guys healthy?
It's treatments every day, for the guys that are beat up. I mean, it's college football. When you play at this level in the Big Ten, a big Power 5 conference, I mean, it is a physical game, and every Saturday is a physical game. If you go out there and lay it on the line, you're bound to get bumps and bruises, and sometimes it takes the full week to recover just to get yourself game ready for the next Saturday. So it's just living in a training room, and whatever it is, whatever your needs are, they're there to take care of you. I mean, we have a lot of people on staff that specialize in the recovery part of it, and I think they do a great job. Unfortunately, it's part of the game. Guys do get injured and miss playing time, but right now, we're knock on wood, we're pretty good right now.
Hey, go.
Great. Tell them to suck it up. I don't want to hear nothing. Buckle up, knuckle up. Great job. I see a contract extension coming.
Oh, easy, man. I'm just trying to enjoy these mozzarella sticks.
Okay. Well, hey, if they got a problem paying you, I'll pay it. Don't tell them it's Wormley, though. Good luck this weekend. We'll be there.
Enjoy that bottle of water.
Hey, Coach, I want to know the difference, when you're dealing with the player and the coaching staff, the difference, can you explain to everyone between injured and hurt and trying to have to play through being hurt and actually being injured?
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference. I mean, again, at this point of the season, there are a lot of people that are hurt, and they hurt, and there are bumps and bruises, aches and pains that go along with playing a physical game. And some individuals can handle it better than others, and they just take care of their body differently, and that's we talk about that being a pro. NFL, the violent game. The NFL is a violent game, and again, for those guys to be able to go and play every Sunday, they got to be a pro about taking care of their body. And college football is no different. They got to be a pro in taking care of their body, how they eat, how they sleep, and what they do in the training room. And we're trying to teach our players that all the time. When you're injured, you can't go, and that happens also. And there is a difference of being able to, fight through a little aches and pains and things that don't feel 100% versus you're actually injured and you can't go.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We come back. We'll visit with Rutgers quarterback Giovanni Ruscino on this week's edition of the Chris Ash Show. We are live at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison. Want to remind you, though, to keep in mind, basketball season is just about to roll, and how about the women's soccer team as well? A couple of big events coming up. First of all, the 23rd ranked women's soccer team hosting LaSalle on Saturday at 5 p.m. in the first round of the NCAA tournament at Yersack Field. The team has earned NCAA berths in 8 of its last 10 seasons, and the team also boasts a nation's best .247 goals against. In other words, a quarter goal per game against average, led by 2-time All-Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Year, Casey Murphy. And don't forget about the men's basketball team as well. Back-to-back home games at the Rack against CCNY Friday night at 7 in the season opener, and Central Connecticut State on Sunday at 2:30. That after a big win in the exhibition against St. John's this past week. Issa Cham with the buzzer-beating layup there at Rutgers, and St. John's raising some money for American Red Cross disaster relief. And season starting right around the corner, and for women's soccer, the NCAA tournament is underway, so be a part of it as it unfolds. We'll take a break, come back with Gio, the Rutgers quarterback. That's next on the Chris Ash Show.
ESPN's Neil Everett here. This college football season, Nissan's putting you in the driver's seat. Go to NissanHeismanHouse.com. Build a customized Titan wrapped in your school's colors. Then register for a chance to win it. Enter the Nissan Heisman House Sweepstakes. Take on today.
Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Ends 12/8/17. Open to residents of USDC 18 and older. Official rules at NissanUSA.com/Heisman House Sweepstakes. Sponsored by Nissan North America.
You're on the couch watching the game, and your friend hands you an ice-cold bottle of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. This is a big moment. That's the sound you love. And that new and improved taste? Yeah, that's the refreshing, delicious, real Coca-Cola taste that you just can't get enough of. All this with zero sugar and 0 calories. Perfection. And then, touchdown! Refresh your game day with the new and improved taste of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Taste the feeling.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube. Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison. 732-777-WING.
At Rutgers, we're moving the world up. It takes time, skill, grit, change, drive. At Rutgers, that's our nature. It's in our roots, because we're the doers, the self-starters, the forward thinkers. And we don't stop. They can't make us. Up is where we move. Now is when we thrive. Together is how we grow. This is Rutgers, where you can change the world. Apply now at admissions.rutgers.edu.
Third down and 2, Rutgers, trailing 24-17 at the Maryland 10-yard line. Robert Martin to the right of Giovanni Ruscino. They will hand it off. It is Martin up the gut, breaks a tackle and scores the touchdown. Once he got past that first level, there was nothing but a Scarlet end zone sitting in front of him. And the Scarlet Knights tied the game at that point, went on to win it 31-24, the final over Maryland this past week. Welcome once again, everybody, to the Chris Ash Show this week. Here at Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison, you're listening to 1450 AM WCTC in New Brunswick and watching on RVision on ScarletKnights.com and on Facebook Live as well. A couple of guests have joined us here. Great to have Rutgers starting quarterback Giovanni Ruscino with us. I was reminded by Mr. Garuti that it is Giovanni. So is that how you want? How do you want it?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Giovanni. All right, I'll remember that on Saturday. And also joining us is Rutgers redshirt freshman receiver and a big member of the kickoff coverage team that Coach Ash was alluding to earlier. Mohamed Jabi joins us right now. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well.
That's good.
Let's start with you, Gio. Just the fact of how you've handled yourself this year. I think we've all been very impressed with waiting for your opportunity and when you got your opportunity, stepping up, but doing everything to prepare yourself for that. And also, it's not an easy situation that you're in at this point, especially after you get to start the last 5 games last year.
Yeah, just in the beginning of the season, I still prepared like I was a starter. I think that was an important thing to do for me. Just in terms of, being the next guy up. Whenever my name was called, I wanted to be ready to do that. Coach Kill's done a great job just helping me out, helping all the quarterbacks out, just in that unit and, making sure we're ready to go each game. And as the season went on and as camp went on, just getting better each week. Studying my plays, staying in the playbook and in the film room with Coach Kill, and do whatever I can do to get ready for the next game and ready for the next week, and just being ready for when my name's called.
And Mo, I wanted to ask you a question. Actually, Coach says that you're one of his guys. You look at you're never off the field. You're always on the field. Whatever they're asking you to do, you're doing. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like buying in and believing in Coach Ash and whatever they're asking you to do, whether if it's going out there and block or if it's run down there and kickoff, whatever it is. You don't see that from wide receivers a lot. So, can you talk about that a little bit?
I like being on the field a lot. I love being on the field. So I feel like anything they ask me to do, I'll be able to do it. I'm a very coachable guy, I'd like to say. So whatever Coach Ash needs me to do, I'll do it. And, whether it's blocking, running down on kickoff, running down on punt, blocking on kick return, playing offense, catching balls, whatever it is, I'll be able to do it. And I do it to the best of my ability because I'm going to help the team win.
It's funny. You can have Eric and you can have yourself, and you guys, I get the feeling, could talk about special teams all day. Just give me your mentality when you're playing special teams, when you're running down on kickoff coverage, when you're doing everything in those instances. How different is it as a special teams player to be out there and making an impact like that?
Special teams, Coach O'Crew always talks about special teams is one play. You don't get a drive of it. You don't get to redo it. You get one play. So I feel like running out on kickoff, you just got to give it all you got for that one play. Give all the effort you got. So on kickoff, I'm not on defense, so I'm going to give it all I got because I know I'm going to be on rest until I have to get back on offense. So I go down as hard as I can. We just try to get pin-ems all the time.
Hey, G, I want to talk a little bit about you. We're coming from a Michigan guy now coming over to New Jersey. Now, you've been here for a little while now, but what was an adjustment like at first, coming in here? You want to start for the quarterback position. You get the job last year, but then you move down, but then you kind of battle back. But the whole time you seem poised, cool, calm, cool, collective. What's it like from a Michigan guy coming in here to this tough old, they call it armpit of the country, New Jersey?
I was fortunate that when my dad came over from Italy, when he was younger, he lived in Jersey City for about 4 years. Mm-hmm. So throughout my childhood growing up, I used to come to New Jersey and visit his side of the family. So I kind of had that Jersey in me already through my dad. Mm-hmm. So which is kind of a good thing. So when I did commit here, my dad kind of said was bringing me back home. So it's pretty cool that I got the opportunity to come out here and embrace Jersey as what it is and just kind of evolving with it. How I live my life now and just what I do, day in and day out. And, just from my freshman year to now, a lot's changed just with me and how I carry myself and the things I do, on and off the football field. When I'm a freshman, you kind of lost. You don't really know what's going on in certain aspects of things, and especially at quarterback. It's such a tough position, and there's so much, responsibility that you have as a quarterback. But, as evolving and learning and getting more experience each year, I think that I've grown to understand the importance of things like, Coach has talked about getting in the film room for extra film, staying with Coach Kill and just, understanding what they're going to do as defenses, what we're doing, what we're going to do as offenses. But just stuff like that is just what I've involved with and I've grown over since I've become a freshman here.
How about the influence of Coach Kill coming in this year, throughout the offseason, working with him? Where has he influenced you and the quarterback room as a whole?
Well, to start off with the quarterback unit as a whole, this is the closest, a quarterback unit has been, and just the group of guys that we have in that room have really embraced, what we're trying to do here in the program as a whole culture. And the importance of Coach Gill and what he's done for us is, he's been tremendous. He's helped us in so many ways, just with at the start, just with how we are as people, how we are as football players, which I think is something that's, extremely important. Just, how you carry yourself as a person, but on the football field, he's helped us out tremendously, just with the basic knowledge of football and understanding defenses and along those lines of things. But yeah, Coach Kill's been tremendous. I'm really fortunate to have him as a quarterback coach right now and our offensive coach. I think the whole offense is very fortunate to have him here on staff.
Just speaking of role models, Bo, I know you're the nephew of Mohamed Sanu. How much has he been able to help you and guide you, in the offseason and working out, just little things on tidbits on what to do, to be successful at this level, at the highest level, and then, hopefully career in the NFL. What's it been like being able to go hang out down with him in Atlanta and just follow his footsteps, kind of?
It's truly a blessing for him to be my uncle. Ever since we were younger, he always talked about just trying to make me the best player I could be, because he was the one that started me playing football. So I feel like now when I'm in college and following his footsteps, going to the same exact college, he tries to help me every day, you know, whether it's me sending him film, asking him what do you think I should do with this, or what kind of release you think I should do with that. He's always helping me, and in the off season we're always together. We're always working out with each other. So I just feel like he's a great role model for me, and, you know, just trying to follow his footsteps.
You know, you were obviously much younger when he was playing here, but do you have a sense of the impact that he made here when he was playing? Because he was a guy that you could really turn to in any situation. For instance, I remember Ray and I used to joke, and Eric, I think you were there too. It wasn't, you know, 3rd and 5. It was 3rd and Sanu, because you knew it was going to Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So just tell me about what you remember about his playing career here at Rutgers.
Honestly, I remember everything. If you want to talk about it, the biggest thing I remember.
What sticks out? Yeah.
Biggest thing I remember is probably against USF. His junior year, it was like 4th down, and Chase Dodd threw him a ball across the middle, and they were driving down the field, and they were down, and he stuck out one hand from behind and tipped it to himself while he was falling down.
It was on the ground, basically,
yeah,
just about.
Yeah, and I remember that. And then the biggest play I probably remember was his first game against Cincinnati, his freshman year, true freshman year. It was a block, crackback block on. It was a big-time linebacker at the time, and he knocked him out the game.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. You know, everybody enjoyed watching him play. How do you model yourself after him, or do you model yourself after him in your game?
Yes, I do. I do model myself after him because the stuff that he's teaching me, he does it, and it works in the NFL. So why not do it? Why not do it in college? You know what I mean? So I try to model my game as best as I can after him. I mean, clearly I'm not as big as him, but it's going to get there soon. So, you know, I just try to model as best as I can with the ability that I have right now.
And GL, Coach Kill, a big model for him is not turning over the ball, protecting the ball at all times. Can you take us through the process of being in that QB position when you have to make that read, or sometimes you question, is that guy there, or is that guy open? Do I take off on my feet? How fast does those decisions have to be made, and how have you been able to be successful so far, been able to protect that ball?
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing that we've tried to emphasize. You know, Coach Ash and Coach Kill have emphasized, you know, protecting the ball, limiting turnovers. I think that's a huge part of having success in the game. And, you know, in terms of winning, we've talked turnover margin so many times. But, yeah, just in general, I think that goes back to, you know, the work you put in before the game, how much film you watch, and how much you prepare for the next opponent. But when you're playing, all that stuff kind of comes second nature when you've prepared and you kind of have that confidence to you in terms of, you know, where you're going with the ball versus this look, and, you know, certain situations like that. But, you know, I'm always reminded to take care of the ball. It's number one priority, the ball, and, you know, I'm just going to keep doing that. And, you know, we always have that confidence to us, though, at the same time, you know, and just keep playing football. Just when you're on the field, you kind of just play ball from that point, because most of the preparation is done from the prior week. So in terms of that, yeah, keep protecting the ball. That's a big part of what we do.
We're visiting with Rutgers quarterback Giovanni Ruscino and wide receiver Mohamed Jabi. Gio, you talked about, you know, your younger days till now and how you have matured, developed. Do you, I guess, have a better appreciation? Can you enjoy this whole process a lot more now than maybe back in your first year or two when there's just so much going on and your head's kind of swimming?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you think, you know, I feel like I wasn't even the same person back then when I was a freshman and stuff. But, you know, the process how it is now, I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm enjoying my time right now. I think, you know, the team's really close. Excuse me. But just as a team, as an offense, is what we do each day. You know, I'm really blessed to be around this team and be in the locker room with all these guys. You know, they'll be my brothers for life. You know, but, you know, just going forward, I'm looking forward to playing with them each and every week.
And Mo, how's it an advantage for you being, you know, right here from South Brunswick, being able to go home whenever you want to and things like that? And how was it adjusted from that college life to home life? I mean, from the home life to college life, being, you know, 10 minutes away from school, not even.
Yeah, I love it a lot, you know, being able to come home, go home anytime I want. So I have my car. Recently, I've been going home like almost every day after practice because my grandma was here from Africa, and she recently went back on Monday. So, I mean, I'm gonna try to go home a little bit more. But, I just love going home, love seeing my family, and it's great being able for them to come to the games anytime they want, not worrying about like, oh, they had to take a flight or they had to drive so and so amount of hours. But it's just really good being able to be so close.
Gio, I don't want to bring this up, but I do remember a couple of years ago there being a dance contest among the team, and I do remember you.
Me?
There.
Are you sure it was me?
I'm pretty sure. Did you win that contest?
Of course I won.
You did win that contest. So I'm wondering, do those moves still come out in the locker room, or do we save them for the club? How does that go right now?
That I haven't brought my dance moves out in a while. I'm not sure if people really want to see that or if they're ready for it, honestly.
It was impressive. I do remember that.
For sure, absolutely.
It was like a crossover.
Yeah,
you were shattering ankles.
It kind of came from a little inside joke. Shout out to my roommate, Mike Cintron. It was kind of me and him kind of deal. And when I got my name called, I had no idea what was going to happen. I kind of just, did what me and him used to do, back in my freshman and sophomore days. But yeah, they haven't came out in a while, and I'm gonna leave them there. I'm gonna keep them far, far away from the locker room or anything else.
I was about to say, I want you to promise us that we're gonna see him on the next Rutgers football video on Twitter. The next victory, you danced in the locker room. You gotta bring them back out, man.
All right.
Don't put them to retire yet, man. Come on.
Before we let you guys go, I mean, you touched on it a little bit being from here, but I want you both to answer this question because you're from very different circumstances. Gio, I'll start with you. Why was Rutgers the right place for you?
Rutgers, I think, is, a place where you come and you have your brothers that you meet for life. It's just that certain connection with the guys in your team and that locker room, which is, something that you can't even explain to someone if they try to ask. Like, it's hard for me to do that because that locker room feeling that I have with my friends and my teammates is just so important to me, and it's something that, stood out to me when I came here, even with the guys that I've came with my class. They're all my close friends, and the people that have came and now through this program are people that are going to be with me for the rest of my life and friends with me for the rest of my life. And I think that's something that's super important. Besides football, having those relationships is something I can always rely on, and that's something I'm really happy that I've came here for.
How about you, Mo?
I feel like, not just being close to home, but I also wanted to follow my uncle's footsteps. And Rutgers has a great culture. But what really sealed the deal kind of was when I got my offer, my best friend, Isaiah Wharton, he became my best friend before I even committed. He was always texting me, always reaching out, seeing how I was doing. So I knew that they had a great culture there and a great connection with everybody. So I knew that, that we were all going to be family once I got here.
Well, that's awesome stuff, and it's been fun watching you guys this year, and it's a lot more fun right now getting 3 out of the last 4 wins. How about 4 out of 5 this week?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Rutgers quarterback Giovanni Ricchino along with Mohamed Jabi, the wide receiver. Thanks, guys.
Good luck, guys.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Coach Ash will rejoin us in just a moment here on the Chris Ash Show.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube. Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison. 732-777-WING.
For Rutgers fans, Saturday is game day. For business owners, it's another day in your work week. UPS gets that, and that's why they offer Saturday delivery so you can keep things running smoothly even while your customers drop everything for the game. Stay on top of your game. Ship with UPS, official logistics company of Rutgers Athletics.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
You're on the couch watching the game, and your friend hands you an ice-cold bottle of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. This is a big moment. That's the sound you love. And that new and improved taste? Yeah, that's the refreshing, delicious, real Coca-Cola taste that you just can't get enough of. All this with 0 sugar and 0 calories. Perfection. And then, touchdown! Refresh your game day with the new and improved taste of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Taste the feeling.
Download the all-new Rutgers Game Day app today. Up-to-the-minute news sent right to your phone. Interactive game updates, official sideline gear, live stats, free live audio, comprehensive game day maps, real-time social streams, and more. Available in the App Store and Google Play. Get all the latest in everything Scarlet Knights athletics.
He's got it for the Rutgers touchdown.
The Rutgers Game Day app. Download today.
Five wides as Johnson motions out of the backfield. Third and a long 7. Under pressure, off balance. He throws it up, and it's intercepted. It's picked up by Kai Hester down the near sideline and straight up the turnpike for the Rutgers touchdown. Kai Hester with his second pick 6 of the season. That was this past Saturday in Rutgers' 31-24 win over the Maryland Terps. And up this week, a trip to Penn State to take on the Nittany Lions. We'll get to that in just a minute as we return on the Chris Ash Show. The coach rejoins us, Chris Carlin, Eric LeGrand, along with Coach Ash. Let's get to a couple of these calls who have been patiently waiting. Tushar in Montville is up next. Tushar, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
We're good.
Hey, so Coach, great win. Quick question. What's your thoughts on the 10th coach hiring a quarterback coach that you've got some great quarterback recruits coming in?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm pretty happy with the quarterback coach we've got. I don't want to replace him yet. We'll see how Gio continues to progress, but we're really looking forward to the addition of the 10th coach. I think it's long overdue. A new NCAA change allows us to do that in January, and just gives you another full-time coach to coach, teach, develop, recruit, and monitor our student athletes, and I think it's the right thing, and we're looking forward to it. Exactly what that guy will coach, we're not completely sure on that yet, but do have a plan and have some thoughts on it.
Thank you.
All right, Tushar, appreciate it. Can you clarify something for us, because it's something that seems to change year to year, and it's the replay process. From my understanding, they are supposed to take a look at every play as it goes along, and if somebody upstairs sees something, they buzz down to the referee, who then looks at it. Also, do you still have a challenge or not as a final fail-safe? That is still intact, right?
Yeah, in college football, you do have a challenge. Really, the officials right now do not want plays to be challenged. In college football, every play is reviewed.
Right.
If something needs to be reviewed longer, they will buzz the officials and say, hey, let's take a longer look at this. And then you'll see them take the little monitor out onto the field for the official to look at. And the official up in the replay booth and the official down on the field are in communication with what they're seeing. And they come up with a determination on does the ruling on the field stand or is it overturned. But they're really trying to keep coaches from needing to challenge and potentially lose a timeout.
Yeah, it feels like it's the fail-safe. In other words, it's the last thing you'd want to do, especially considering they're supposed to review every play.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is that Eric and I and Ray will see plays occasionally. Well, if they're supposed to review every play, that was awfully close. Why wouldn't they buzz down and stop play there? And it's not like there's a hurry-up pattern to it in each case.
Well,
and I'm not asking you to kill the refs. I just don't know how this works.
Yeah, if they really wanted to, they could buzz and stop about every other play.
Yeah, that feels that way.
The NCAA and TV people are really trying to shorten the game right now and try to speed it up. The replay mechanics, they are what they are. I think for the most part they do a pretty good job. It's not perfect. It's not perfect in the NFL. It's not perfect in college. But I do think they get a lot of calls corrected, and they're called the right way because of the use of replay. And nobody's always happy. I mean, it never works that way. But I think they do a fairly good job. And, I don't have a lot of complaints.
In the offseason, how much influence do you guys have? I always wondered, in the meetings in the offseason when you guys meet with the Big Ten and officials, things like that. Do you guys have any influence on plays of when you want them reviewed or on how, like you said, I know that they're trying to speed up the game and things like that, but is there any influence on which play should be like that play call? It still kills me that you can't review that play call as a false start, and that could kill a team right there. You know what I mean? It could, but it could.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it could have. I mean, it led to points, on the board the other day. But I think in the Big Ten, I think they do as good a job as any league in America in having conversation between coaches and the officials and the head officials. Bill Carolla does an unbelievable job. He's been around the game for a long, long time, and I think the officiating in this league is as good as it gets. Again, I think the constant conversation and communication between officials and coaches and what needs to be looked at, doesn't need to be looked at, how they look at things, and their interpretations. I think it's great. And just constant dialogue, all the time. And they're available for phone calls after games anytime if you want to discuss something that happened on a Saturday.
All right, one more quick timeout. You're listening to The Chris Ash Show.
When Samantha was in dire need of a new heart, she turned to RWJ Barnabas Health, who performs more adult heart transplants than any healthcare system on the East Coast.
I'm still here.
Jean cherishes every moment spent with her great-grandkids, thanks to our kidney transplant program that ranks among the nation's top 10.
Still here.
Robert promised his granddaughter he'd make it to her next birthday. Thanks to New Jersey's only lung transplant center, he did.
I'm not going anywhere.
From corneal and pancreatic transplants to heart, kidney, and lung, our patients aren't who they used to be. They're better. Learn more about our transplant centers at Newark Beth Israel Medical Center, St. Barnabas Medical Center, and Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. Visit rwjbh.org/transplant. RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
The Chris Ash Show returns after this local timeout. This is the Rutgers IMG Sports Network.
Need a place to watch all the pro games? Look no further than Quaker Steak and Lube, Best Wings USA on Route 1 in Edison. 50 TVs, great game day specials starting at just $2.50, and the best wings in the USA with over 25 different wing sauces. Enjoy our outdoor patio and bar open all year round. On the way to the game and need something to go? Give us a call, 732-777-WING. We cater events of any size. Watch all the games, have a great time, and enjoy the best wings in the USA. 561 Route 1 in Edison, 732-777-WING.
When you're looking for tickets to that sold-out event, there's only one place to go. TickCity.com, the official secondary ticket partner of Rutgers Athletics. Scarlet Knight fans can save 10% on all orders when you use the discount code Rutgers at checkout. From sporting events to the hottest concerts, Broadway and family shows across the country, all your ticket needs are covered at your fan-friendly ticket source. TickCity.com. That's TIXCITY.com.
Edwards is in the backfield. Maryland showing blitz. They're coming. Riccinio drops to throw, dumps it right. Edwards out of the backfield, shakes the defender, and scores the touchdown.
And that is why he will play at the next level.
That was the Gus Edwards touchdown to put Rutgers ahead for good. Coach, we got about 30 seconds left. Give us a quick thought on Penn State this week.
It's going to be a huge challenge. They're a talented football team, tremendous environment. And, our players are looking forward to the opportunity and the challenges that lay ahead, and we're excited to go over and play the best football game that we can. But they're a talented football team.
Hey, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
And I know you'll be looking forward to making the trip as well.
I am. My first Big Ten trip. I'm excited to see the environment, but I'm even more excited with a Rutgers victory.
Exactly right. Rutgers and Penn State, noon on Saturday. Make sure to listen in on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network, and also on television. The game will air on BTN. For Eric LeGrand and the coach, Chris Ash, this is Chris Carlin speaking. We'll see you next week for the Chris Ash Show, live from Quaker Steak and Lube in Edison. Have a great week, everybody.
You've been listening to The Chris Ash Show on the Rutgers IMG Sports Network. Join us throughout the season from Quaker Steak and Lube on US 1 in Edison to hear from the head football coach of the Scarlet Knights. The Chris Ash Show has been brought to you by The Chris Ash Show is an exclusive presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.